Children, so far we have discussed how the Prophet Muhammad started a new religion and how he started consolidating his followers by making a council of followers that was called the Ummah. Later on, how the transfer of power was given to the Ummah after the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632. Thereafter, there used to be four caliphs, one after another, and the last caliph was Ali, who was later on defeated by Muawiyah and he was assassinated. Later on, Muawiyah set up a new dynasty, and that dynasty was called the Umayyad dynasty, which was hereditary in nature. Thereafter, it ruled for 90 years, but due to some of its flaws and its weakness, it also came to an end, and it was brought to an end by a movement which started in a distant region of Khurasan, that was in Iran, and they started a movement that is called the Dawa movement. So finally, a battle was fought between the supporter of the Abbas, that was also a descendant of Prophet Muhammad, and the Umayyad rulers at the battle of at the river of Jab, that is also called the Battle of Jab, and in that Umayyad ruler was defeated and a new dynasty came into existence that was called Abbasid dynasty. So we have discussed Abbasid dynasty in detail last time, but there were certain other reasons why Abbasid dynasty could not last long for a long time, and it also came to an end after 150 years, and there are some factors which brought an end to this dynasty, and now we will discuss those factors so that why this dynasty came to an end and what was the political scenario in the Central Islamic land thereafter. So we will start now. You can see that it is written there, causes of the breakup of the caliphate. Means what were the causes of the breakup of caliphate, that we will discuss here. In 810, a civil war broke out between the supporters of Amin and Mamun. Amin and Mamun used to be the two sons of the famous caliph of Abbasid dynasty, and his name was Harun al-Rashid. So these were the two sons of Harun al-Rashid, and there was a struggle between these two brothers, and this struggle deepened due to the coming of the Turkish slave officers who came from the Central Asia. Turkish people were from the Central Asia and they were the skilled riders, and due to their military capabilities they became very much stronger in the Abbasid dynasty. As a result, they started interfering in the political matter of the Abbasid rule, and finally, due to the internal strife between Amin and Mamun, the Abbasid dynasty became quite weaker. So this was the time when the small rulers started taking advantages and some minor dynasties came into existence, and these minor dynasties are the Tahirid and Samanids. They were mainly in the Central Asia and Khurasan. Khurasan, the region which we have talked, that from there where Dawa movement was started. Now there was a new dynasty, that is Tahirid dynasty, and Samanid dynasty was in Transoxiana. Transoxiana is the part of Central Asia and it lies close to the river Oxus. Tulunid, which was a dynasty in Egypt and Syria. So you can see that Khurasan, Transoxiana, Egypt and Syria, these are the areas which are away from the central control of Abbasid ruler, and the central control of the Abbasid ruler was from the Baghdad. So these areas used to be far away from Baghdad. As a result, there was the loose control of the ruler, and since there was internal struggle between the ruler's family itself, so they could not take hold of these distant regions, and later on there emerged some minor dynasties. In 945, the Buyids, the tribal people who were from the Siyat clan from Caspian region of Iran, they lie close to the Caspian Sea, and from there they started moving to the Baghdad because Baghdad became quite weaker. As a result, finally they defeated the Abbasid ruler and they captured the Baghdad. They kept the Abbasid Caliph as the symbolic head. Al-Abbasid Caliph was not removed by these people. He remained in his position as the head of the Sunni subject, because the Abbas was the person who started the Abbasid dynasty, and he was a Sunni subject. So the official religion of Abbasid ruler was the Sunni, and the Caliph was also a believer of the Sunni rule of Islam, not the Shias. The Fatimid, we have discussed about the Fatima, who was the daughter of Prophet Muhammad, and she got married with Ali, and Ali was the last caliph. So the descendant of Ali and Fatimid were known as Fatima were known as the Fatimid, and they were very much powerful in northern Africa, and they were the believer of the Shia clan. So they conquered Egypt. Rest of the Egypt was conquered by them in 969, and they established a new caliphate in that region, that is called Fatimid Caliphate, and they claimed that they are the legitimate descendant of Prophet Muhammad, so they should also be respected as the Khalifa. So a new caliphate was started, that is in Egypt, that was called the Fatimid Caliphate, and they made their capital Cairo. Cairo was a new city which was founded by these people, and it was founded on the day when the planet Mars rose at that day. As a result, it was the day of Al-Kahir. Al-Kahir is the Arabic name of Mars. So it is named after the planet Mars, that is called Al-Kahir, and the city was named as the Cairo, and Cairo is the present day capital of Egypt. So this is how the Cairo was founded by the Fatimid rulers. Now next tribe was the Turkish tribe. Turks were the people who were from the Central Asia, and they were mainly the nomadic tribes of the steppe grassland. Steppe grasslands are the favorable grassland for rearing of the animals like the goats and sheep. So they used to rear up the animals, and they used to move from one place to another place, and they were very tough people, and they were also very good rider of the horses. Skill riders were there, skill riding skills were there in these people, and they were also the great warrior, and they entered Abbasid rule as the soldiers. They also joined the rules of Samanids and Buid administrators, and as a slaves they joined in those dynasties, and due to their military capabilities, as I told you, that they rose to the higher position, and they were also loyal to their masters. So they became quite powerful at that time in Central Islamic land. Now one such Turk was the Mahmud of Ghaznavi. So Ghaznavid Sultanate was established by Alptgin. He was also a Turk, and he set up a new dynasty in the distant region of Abbasid rule, and he started the dynasty that is called Ghaznavid dynasty. Later on, Alptgin was, after the death of Alptgin, later on a new ruler became, that was called Subuktigin, and the son of Subuktigin, that was called Mahmud of Ghazni, he became the most successful ruler of Ghaznavid dynasty. So in 961, Alptgin founded this dynasty, and Alptgin was having a slave, and his slave's name was Subuktigin. And Subuktigin was such a loyal slave to the Alptgin that Alptgin gave his daughter to the Subuktigin, and he got married his daughter with the Subuktigin. And later on, there was a son of Subuktigin, his name was Mahmud of Ghazni, and he founded the Ghaznavid dynasty was founded by Alptgin, and it was later on expanded and consolidated by Mahmud of Ghazni. And Mahmud of Ghazni was the ruler of Turkish dynasty who also invaded India 17 times. And the famous temple of Somnath was also looted and destroyed by Mahmud of Ghazni. That was in Gujarat. Ghaznavid were a military dynasty. It was purely a military dynasty. They were not the elected people with the professional army. Their army used to be very powerful, and which was mainly comprising the Turks of the Central Asia as well as the Indians. And one of the general of the army of Prophet Mahmud was the Tilak, who was from India. The Abbasid Caliph were not rivals but a source of legitimacy. Now Abbasid ruler was not that much stronger, but still the ruler of Ghazni did not remove him from his position because of some reasons. So now what were the reasons? Mahmud was a son of the slave. as I told you that Subukgin used to be the slave of Alpgin, so Mahmud was also a son of the slave, and he was not commanding that much respect in the Muslim community, and he wanted to receive the title of Sultan, and this legitimacy can only be given by the religious head of the Muslim community, and that was the Caliph. So Caliph was not removed because he wanted the blessing of Caliph to get the title of Sultan. The Caliph was also willing to support the Sunni Ghaznavid. The Ghaznavid rulers used to be the Sunni subjects, and Caliph was also the head of the Sunni subjects of Muslim community. So he was ready to help and give the title of the Sultan to Mahmud of Ghaznavi, so that he can counterweight the rising Shia power which was rising in Egypt. That I told you, the Fatimid dynasty was the Shia dynasty, and there used to be the pro-Iranian people who used to be the Shia, so they were rising very powerful. So to counterweight them, he was ready to help Mahmud of Ghaznavi, who was a Sunni Muslim person. So to counterweight the Shia power, he was willing to support the Ghaznavid rulers. So we can say that they were the necessity of each other. As a result, they supported each other. Now, another sultanate was founded by the Seljuk Turks, who entered the Turan as the soldiers, and they joined the army of Samanids and Karkhanids. These were the minor dynasties which arose after the downfall of the Abbasid dynasty. So they joined the army of Samanids and Karkhanids, and since I told you that they used to be very powerful as far as their military skills are concerned, so they rose to the higher position. And since there was the chaos everywhere after the downfall of Abbasid dynasty, and these people took the advantage of that chaos and they set up their own rule. They later established themselves as the powerful group under the leadership of two brothers, and their name was the Tughril Beg and the Chagri Beg. So these were the two brothers who were the Turkish people, and they became the leader of the Turkish people, and they took the advantage of the chaos which was going on at that time in the Muslim world. Taking advantage of the chaos following the death of Mahmud of Ghazni. By that time the Mahmud of Ghaznavi died, and there was no able successor thereafter. So the Seljuk Turks took the advantage of that chaos and they conquered the Khurasan. Khurasan once used to be the part of Ghazni, but now it came under the control of the Seljuk Turks, and made Nisapur, which is another city in Central Asia, their first capital. So Nisapur became the capital, and this capital was founded by the Seljuk brothers. The Seljuk next turned their attention to Western Persia and Iraq. So they moved to the western side of Persia, and in the western side of Persia there is another country, that is Iraq, which was ruled by the Buyids, who were from the Shia origin. So they attacked on that region, and in 1055 restored Baghdad to the Sunni rule. Since these people used to be the Sunni, so they took the control of the Baghdad from the Buyids, and they again brought the Baghdad under the Sunni rule. And after the downfall of the Abbasid dynasty, Baghdad was under the control of the Shias, but now it again came under the control of the Sunni.